Welcome, everyone. Hello, my name is Christopher Lee. This is the Creative Tavern. We welcome you guys. Happy almost 4th of July. I was gonna say happy 4th of July, but it's almost. It's July 3rd, and one more day is 4th of July. But welcome to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. I've been in the industry for about 10 years with companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Studios Creative. I'm here today with my good buddy Michael.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael L. Wilker. I am a writer, semi-retired creative producer, also from the theme park industry, where I worked for both Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Creative with Chris on a couple of projects. Most recently on Super Nintendo World. When that project wrapped up at the end, for us at least, in like summer 2020, Chris and I said like, hey, we're in between big projects. Let's do something together. Let's do a creative project together. And we took a long journey in the blue sky concept phase and eventually settled on, hey, let's learn how to make a video game. But not only that, let's give other people a window into our creative process. That way we can hopefully start building a community of other like-minded creative folks. And that's how the Creative Tavern was born. And to tell you
Mhm.
more, I'll hand it back to Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. And this creative tavern is created. I was gonna say designed. It's created for all the creative people out there, including yourself. If you're into storytelling, if you're into music, if you're into 3D modeling, if you're into like drawing characters or environments, this is the platform for you to come together and share your works of art. I know when I first joined Twitch, I wanted a place to share all my stuff, and so therefore we created this place so that you could come join our Discord and share all your amazing work, which we will share today later at the end of the show. So and today is Sunday, so therefore it is my turn. I will be updating you guys with all the stuff that I did this past week with Michael. And really, really quick, before I do anything, I want to go ahead and send out the announcements that we are actually on stream right now. Okay, I just did that. Sweet. And we are good to go. Okay. So, recap first. There's a lot to talk about. I don't want to rush through it, but at the same time, I don't want to I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss a thing. All right. All right. So, let me do this.
Having
Boom.
flashbacks of Ben
I
Affleck and
know.
Bruce Willis for some reason.
I Yeah. Okay, so I need to share screens with Michael and boom. Okay, we're good. We're good. You guys see us? You guys see us? Sweet. And Captain Blue says, I'm gonna fetch the documentation page for you later. Thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue. We welcome both Captain Blue Blue and Totoro back. Very, very happy to have you guys both back. Okay, whew. So from the last time where I left off is when I showed you guys what I did with scene 4, if I remember correctly. I went ahead and split apart all the UVs and made sure that all the UVs were sharing and utilizing uh, one whole UV space because all the surfaces kind of more or less are very, very similar. I wanted to make sure that there should be no reason as to why there's more than, we're not using, uh, we're not, we're not utilizing all the space, right? That one texture image. Because if I didn't have like any tutorials or if I didn't have any um, advice from Captain Blue Blue, I would be like, oh, okay, this, for example, like this asset right here, this little, this cross right here would get itself its own texture. No, that's not how you do it, right? You want to make sure you want to save space so that it runs optimized and efficiently in Unity, and that's what I did. And then so if I did this, and if I move all this stuff, everything moves, right? And currently it's utilizing Blender's the color rainbow texture. I use this just to make sure that everything it looks um, proportional, as well as here's it's sharing G6 as well as G6 here, 11C. and 11C. I know, granted, it's upside down, but as long as they share the same kind of texture, the same space, then we are good. And then so basically, I did this throughout all the different elements for scene 4. Granted, these are only the most important elements. These are the skeleton assets, if you will, the assets that is most important and necessary in order for Michael to kind of connect each Lego pieces in the game, so that we have something to work with in scene 4. And then the next step is to actually apply a texture that actually looks good and that it works. So what I will do now is do this. Oh, wait a second. It disappeared. What the hell? All right, give me
Oh,
1 second, guys.
sure.
The
Take your time.
thing, yeah, thank you. Okay, boom.
Ooh,
So
cool.
that was kind of weird, huh? That it was actually using another picture before. But anyways, um, so so this was the texture that I went ahead and painted in Photoshop. If I zoom in really quick, they are they have a little bit of kind of dirt and grime to it. And one of the reasons why I did this last week, because remember how I said that, this is kind of like a refinery place, right? It should not be nice and pretty. All the surfaces should have a little bit of soot or dust or grime or something. And so that's why when I went in Photoshop, I went ahead and painted all this textures in there. I also added some, some tech stuff, just like little backboards, little blue lit paneling areas right here. And then so essentially when you zoom out, everything that you see here is using one texture, which is, yeah, it's awesome. So hopefully it would be nice and efficient when we put these into the game. And then so you guys probably want to see this going inside. Hold on. Actually, let me pull this down really quick. Pulling down, pulling down. There you go. So this piece right here, connection, it goes right here, and then when we go in here, it goes like this. And
Whoa.
just to let you guys know ahead of time that I went ahead and took all the elements and I transferred it into Unity, and I've officially delivered the first assets to be delivered to Michael has been done behind the scenes, and they work. Although they kind of have a little bit of a lighting issue, but Michael actually came up with a pretty good solution for that. I don't know, Michael, if you're planning on showing these at all on Wednesday. Um, are you okay? Okay, awesome. So yes, we will see what Michael has done with these assets that I gave him on Wednesday. So if you're interested in seeing how these look in Unity, please come back on Wednesday, and then we will talk a little bit about them. But yeah, if you guys want to see this connected, so basically it's going like this, taking this and then connecting it, and here's like a one, you know, you can connect this, and if you need another one, just go ahead and connect it like so. It's essentially very much like a Lego piece. Oops. Yeah, boom. Right. And then so, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So because we went ahead and connected everything, now we have like a nice little custom corridor that I created uh off the bat. It's really quick, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And a quick note to you guys, everything right now is like a flat. This is one, two, three, four, five, eight-sided octagonal plane. Um, I'm planning to use some bump maps and normal maps, or they're both the same thing. I'm planning to use normal maps so that we actually have a little bit of pop off a little bit of indent, some more details, so that when we actually do light this interior set, that you'll see like there's details. We'll get free details by using the normal maps instead of me actually having to model everything out that actually uses verts and adding more verts and faces. I don't want to do it that way. I want to actually just use the normal maps to make this more interesting to look at. Again, it's all about optimization that is in my head right now. I want to optimize, 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 and I want to go ahead and go into the rendered mode. Give me 1 second. How are you doing today, Michael? I'm just going to chit chat really quick while my computer is thinking.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. And thank you so much for getting all these assets put together for me. Like it's been really fun to finally like see. I mean, we've like shared a couple of models before with like the drones and stuff, but this was like the first big set of stuff that was like, oh man, it's
Mm-hmm.
the fusion of our two worlds coming together, and now I can
Yeah.
start playing with the things that you've been working on for a couple of weeks here, and so it's been really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And thank you for getting that into the Unity and playing around with it so
Sure,
quickly. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And I've also showed this to you, Michael, and you guys. Wah!
I
And
love this.
this is the Eevee rendering mode. It's kind of like the game engine mode. And then
Hmm.
so if I do place some lights in here, so for example, I have some lights like there's a light, here's a light, and so basically there's like lights around. You could kind of tell where it is, right? And so if I went ahead and lit it and just go ahead and pass through real quick, I think it looks very, very cool, very, very dynamic. Obviously, there's a little bit of clipping going on right here, which I'm not going to delete because I don't know if I actually made a copy of that or whatever. Uh, but yeah, this is what it looks like lit super, super quickly. And hopefully you guys like that. And I went ahead and created one tiny little light in this area right here, just to give it a little bit of mood. Because without it, it's kind
Yeah.
of like it would
Mm,
there would be nothing.
totally.
But with the little tiny light,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
yeah, thanks, man. And also, again, with the normal map that I will be doing, um,
Hmm.
if and when there, because right now you could only see four, or not four, but eight sides. But
Hmm.
when I do put a normal map, it's gonna have a lot more textures going on inside here, here, as well as here. Because yeah, everything is all flat right now. But when I do the normal map, it's gonna look a lot cooler. Yeah.
Awesome. Really looking forward to that because yeah, I have a feeling because I am mesmerized every time I see normal maps in games that I play because it's like, wow, that's really just a flat surface, but it looks
Yeah.
like this pebbly jumble of rocks. Like it's
Right,
amazing.
right. Overwatch does an amazing job with that. I
Totally.
told you before, like before the action starts, I'm always like looking down at like rocks, and I'm sure
Hmm.
the other players on my team is like, what the hell is he looking at? And
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to learn. I'm trying to see how they do it because they do it really well. And
Right.
if you until you try to design something like that, then you don't really appreciate it. So now I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to do it. Now I'm looking at the rocks. I'm like, how the hell did they do it? And they're rocks. People don't look at it. They just
Yeah.
pass
They just
through it.
run past.
They just run past it. I'm just like studying how they painted it, how the ambient occlusion effect is going on. Like when two geometry intersects one another, it's like a nice little like a little contact shadow right in between. It makes it look so nice and real. I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. But people don't care about that. They just play the game and kill one another. Yeah,
But if it wasn't there, then they would care and they'd be like, I can't put my finger on it, but this game doesn't look very good.
exactly, exactly. And that's unfortunate. That's how the way it is. It's like if something is not working, then people would start to notice. But if things work
Yeah.
really well, they just
It's
blow
invisible.
past by it. Yeah, there's like, oh, whatever. They take it for granted. Which I don't. And just to rant a little bit more, uh, a lot of the a lot of the production art that I did for Buzz Lightyear, uh, essentially I had to paint the environment scenes all the scenes, right? And scene 3 and 4 and 5, there were all essentially rocks, right? And but the problem is, or it's not the problem. The fact of the matter is, people are just so concentrated on hitting the targets, and no one is actually staring at like, ooh, look at the way he painted the rocks. No one cares about that, and I'm just like, "Argh," and that's the thing. Like the first read for the players, for the guests, are obviously the targets that you're shooting at, and second is the character that the target that it contains, right? So thanks for first read is the target, and second is the character that has the target, and then obviously the third is the environment that the character is in, and so that yeah, that's what happens when you do environment design. People just pass by it, and I'm just like, no, look at the rocks. All right, rant over. Sorry. Anyways, so yes, when I'm doing this part right here, uh, right now it looks super super flat, but once I get the normal texture, all this nice detail will be in the game. You'll
Cool.
see like curves or not curves, but like step downs and
Hmm.
indentations and whatnot. So hopefully that will add a lot more sexiness and detail in our game.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Anything else I did? Nope. But that is about it for the recap of scene scene 4. Did I talk about these guys? Yeah, I talked about them. Essentially, they're just textured. This week, the update is basically I just textured them. Now that I did the UVs correctly, um, because I have a strong foundation of laying out the UVs, I was able
Hmm.
to do the textures really, really fast, really, really efficient. And awesome note, Michael. I showed all this to Michael, and he said that it would be great if it would be great to give the players kind of like a horizon line to 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 be looking at when they're in this environment, because it's good to be, or it helps them to be more oriented, right? So from that note, I went ahead and create kind of like a difference between the horizontal, like this horizontal is like kind of using the white panels on the side, so it essentially continues this way, and then the bottom is using the black, so you kind of get a little bit of contrast. What is above and below is dark, what is on the side is more um, bright. It has a wider value.
And
Yeah, that.
something I didn't even notice until just now when you were pointing it out, in addition to the dark center line on the top and the bottom and the light sort of like paneling on the left and the right, there's also this like black kind of dust shadow line that you have going on the right and the left side, like right, yeah, that thing
Mhm,
creates
mhm.
this like really nice subtle like literal horizon line that's like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
brain is completely interpreting that correct. So like yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's how effective it was. That's how effective your. So hey, going back to prove exactly what we were just talking about, it was invisible to me because it was correct.
Yay, that's
If
awesome.
it wasn't there, that would have been like, I don't know, Chris, something
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's awesome.
nailed it. Good job.
Yay. Cool. And oh, right. Also, Michael, you already know this, but just to give a recap for
Hmm.
the viewers, this I went ahead and created this. Obviously, these are like the nice big turns. However, I forgot that we also need to go upwards as well. So therefore, I went ahead and create like a vertical version of these guys. And obviously I could have just did this, like, oh, it's vertical now. Uh, but the openings are, notice that the openings are very, 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 oops, actually, hold on. Yeah, the openings are very, very different. One is horizontal and one is vertical. And I don't want Michael to be, stuck using only this piece if he decided to do a vertical takeoff. So that's why I went ahead and created a version that is vertical. And let me just go back. All right, sweet, 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 sweet. Okay. I think am I missing anything? Is does that cover everything, Michael? Am I
Yeah, I
missing
think so.
anything?
The only other thing that might be worth talking about that I don't know if we had discussed in an earlier design session is when we had originally pointed out that we wanted to do those curved pieces, we had said, or I had said, like, yeah, I think what you need to do is take that circular piece that you have and stretch it into like an ellipse, and then, we'll chop that up. That was actually wrong. What we needed to do was create those like concentric circles of different sizes. So that's how you then got
Mm-hmm.
those nice curves that go from 0 degrees to 90 degrees.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's really smart to actually have different sizes. And again, Michael, if you need uh if you need it to be bigger, let me know. If you decide to actually make it like even bigger than what we have or
Okay,
smaller, let me know. Um
sure,
yeah, in Unity just create the blocks however you need to and just substitute it until I take over and
perfect.
make it for you. Um, God, I don't know if I should save this or if I should just quit this because I did move some pieces around. Ah, um, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna just close. Yeah, I'm just gonna don't save. Okay, moving on to scene four. Oh, but scene three. Scene three. We're gonna do scene three now. All right.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. So so really quick, Michael and I decided that the next level that I should tackle is scene three. So we were in scene four before, and then we're taking a step back into scene three. And before I dive in, let's take a look at the chat really quick. Um, hold on, let me take a look at the chat because usually I just keep talking and we forget to look at chat. I apologize, you
Sure.
guys. All right. Documentation. Totoro says, cool. Good description on the bump maps. I remember how that works. Yeah. And Captain Blue says also an occlusion map will tell light where not to show either, so that it will look nice in the panels. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, totally, 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 totally. Uh, and Captain Blue says this looks cool. Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. Captain Blue is one of the people that knows 3D, and he has a lot more experience than me. So it really means a lot that it's coming from him, and as well as Totoro too. Totoro says, "Good rant." Regarding rocks. I used to be building fake rocks for zoos and amusement parks, and it was the same sentiment. Success equals invisible immersion. Exactly, exactly, man. Am I the only one touching the walls at Disney? Yeah, yeah. So thank you for that, man. I, yeah. Totoro knows how I feel that people actually put a lot of work into the rocks and the walls to make it feel immersive. Okay, cool. All right. So what do I want to talk about really quick? Let me hide this and this really quick, and let me hide that really quick. Anything else I want to hide? Okay, no, that's perfect. So I'm going to just give a really quick recap. Just gonna show this thing right here. This is kind of like my rough, super rough draft of what the what scene three is. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused. Yes, scene three
Three. Got it.
will look like. Yeah, thank you. Essentially, we are on a asteroid planet, and we're just flying through, and there's going to be uh, robots that we have to fight, and because they're kind of terrorizing this oil refinery place, and then pew pew pew, we shoot them, and then whenever our wingman sees troubles, they always duck out, and then we just fly upwards, upwards. Oh, by the way, Michael came up with the awesome gameplay solution that I will let him share later. Probably not now, but whenever he's ready to share it, he came up with something really cool, and I think it's gonna give an excuse as to why those wingmen are cowards. Uh, they just fly away when trouble shows up. It's gonna all make sense story wise. So this is I apologize guys. My computer is being a little bit choppy today for some odd reason. Um, and so this is just flying through, flying through, flying through, and then we gotta say, "Oh, watch your six! There's bad guys in the back of you!" And then we're gonna shoot those bad guys as well. So yeah, the essentially. Oh, actually, hold on. Sorry, 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 sorry. I forgot to turn on the asteroid field. One of the things,
Ooh.
one of the one of the elements that or questions and concerns that I had when I was tackling Sc.3 was that I asked Michael, it's like, Michael, should we still design this as a circular circular ball, circular geometry, or should we actually do it like the way you've been doing it in Unity, where it's just a flat surface? And the conclusion that we came out, both of us, is that we really like how dynamic a circular, a spherical, you know, element, environment this is because when we're actually flying around the sphere, the asteroid planet, we get to see we get the nice turns and you know the asteroids. We see how the horizon line changes. We it's definitely a lot more dynamic if it was just kind of like a flat piece of a plane that we are on. So we kind of concluded that we're going to stick with the spherical surface or spherical geometry that we're actually flying around a ball instead of like a flat plane is because it's more dynamic and and there's another issue that I'll bring up later. We'll just make the asteroid not totally spherical, but there will be surfaces where it's nice and flat so that we can actually have some indentations, placements on the surface without it kind of jutting up at all the other places, especially in this spot right here. You guys can tell that vertical structures, when placed next to each other, they're not really parallel with one another. They're actually doing this is because anything that is tangent on the surface of a sphere, the tangent is always like going away from one another. Um, we don't really notice it on Earth because the Earth is so big, so round that everything seems flat until we fly really, really, really high up in the air, and then we'll see like, oh, we see the surface. That we see the roundness of the Earth, right? But because Earth is so big, again, everything seems flat to us. The Earth is round, you guys. Just there are no we do not accept flat earthers here. Anyways, so yes, that is the recap of Sc.3. Does that make any sense at all, Michael? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man.
Sweet. All right. I'm just gonna turn the. Actually, no, I'll keep it on for now. So, all right. So the first, I actually had some notes that I've created. All right. So number one, show the before and after of the asteroid planet. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show you guys, and this is kind of like a optimization talk. Uh, there you go. All right. So what I will do is I'm gonna go to material preview. All right. So the blue is what we have right now, what we're working with. Um, and if I go to edit mode, you will see that there are a ton of a ton of tries and vertices and whatnot. And if I do this correctly, if I click on stats, okay, so currently, with what is
Wow.
selected, sorry, I can't zoom in any more than it really is right now. Currently, there are 91,000 faces, um, and there are 45,000 vertices. Uh, that's not good. That's not good at all, right? So one of my exercises was to simplify this geometry so that it's not going to kill the computer when we are actually playing this in the game. And so I went ahead and created a lower poly version of this. Essentially, I just created a modifier layer in Blender, and I used the decimate modifier. and then I applied it, and then so the red, hold on, let me just do this really quick. Um, apologies. So you guys probably can't see it, but this right here is definitely a lot less geometry. So we went from shit, I
I
forgot
think
how
it was
many it was.
91,000 triangles
Yeah.
on faces.
91,000 to 1,200,
That's
which is
amazing.
that is so much less, right? And obviously I could do a lot more, but right now, I'm just going to combine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the asteroid field so that we don't get disrupted. And I'm going to play this again. The reason why I did a red version and a blue version is so that when we are actually flying through this, I needed to prove to myself that even though it's lower poly, we still get the same environment. Because usually when we change or make the polys lower, it
Hmm.
will frack up the design of the environment, right? And
So,
apology. Go ahead.
what's the difference between the red and the blue?
So the red is the low poly and the blue is the high poly.
And is the blue the original high poly?
Yeah, the blue is the
Got it.
original.
Okay.
Yeah. The blue is what we started with, and the red is the reduced poly. It's the 1000K instead of 91,000K.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So currently, I'm just running through the model right now just to prove to myself and Michael that even though I made the poly count a lot lower, it's still gameplay wise, it's still going to work
Totally.
environmentally. And yeah, and all the details and all the smoothness, the curvature, and everything, the look and feel of it can be brought back once I put a normal map on top of the low poly textures. So it's going to still have the nice bumpiness and everything. The edges are going to be a little bit more low poly looking, but hopefully that's not going to be too big of an issue. If it is, then I will add verts in order to make it look a little bit more natural. But I think
Mhm.
for now, this is the way to go. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, amazed that you were able to reduce by like more than 90% and still retain that much of the original geometry. Like
Mm, mm.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna play through all this. Yeah. So
Another question too. Is there like a slider or something that you can scale to like determine uh when you do the
decimate. Uh-huh.
decimation? I don't know what
Yeah. Good. Yep. Decimation.
when
Yep.
you do that, do you get to say like, uh, give me a real strong decimation, and it'll be like, okay, here's a cube, or can you say like, just take a little bit off the top, and it's like, okay, you had 140,000
hmm
triangles, and
hmm
now
hmm
you've got 100,000. Like, can you
Yeah.
adjust that?
Yes,
Cool.
absolutely. That's a great question, and I will try to demonstrate it without my computer dying. So it was actually pretty easy in that all I had to do was go to the modifier tab and then go to, and obviously since I'm streaming right now, I'm not gonna find it anymore. Ah, I found it. Haha, suck it. Decimate. Boom, decimate, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
so ratio is at
Uh,
one right now, and obviously
mm-hmm.
the face count right here is 91,000. Right here, as is, it's 91,000. But if I take this right here and if I start going down, let's just say half, right? Let's go to zero point 0.5. Oh God, my computer. Now it's at 45,000 faces, right?
Mm,
Um,
got it.
and and you can't really tell. Well, you
Oh, is
could
it
kind of.
showing you the update in real time?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
You can
cool.
kind of tell because look how actually, hold on, let me see if I undo it. Okay, oh, hold on. Oh, it's so subtle. It's so subtle.
Yeah, that's really subtle.
And okay, so let me let me do it even more. All right, let's go 0.25,
Okay.
a quarter. And my computer's thinking. I don't know if you saw the change, so I'm gonna.
It
So this
was
is,
subtle still.
yeah. So this is after, before, after, before. So it's very, very subtle.
Yeah. So that's amazing. Like if you can get that much in performance savings and still retain so much of the visual
Mm-hmm.
fidelity, that's
Mm-hmm.
man, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, no, it's great. So now we're at 22, and I'm just gonna push it even more. I'm gonna do 0.05. Let's see how that
Whoa.
looks. My computer is thinking. So now you can start to see
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming a lot more low polyed. Um, and obviously, if I do it like something super crazy, 0.005 or
Yeah.
something, it's just gonna become like a triangle or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna start losing its fidelity, right? It's gonna be like, what
Sure.
what what are we doing here? So this is before, this is
That's really
after,
cool though. Uh-huh.
and then this is before. So yeah, so you have to find the balance, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was basically playing with it, and whatever I came up with, I forgot what the ratio was, but I just played with it and I found like, oh, around the face count of 1,000, it's lower poly enough, but at the same time it retains the shape of the environment.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, sorry, shoot, shoot. Okay. Oh, so let me go ahead and read the chat.
Oh yeah.
Totoro says, so I have. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have spent a lot of time in 3D programs. I have spent more time in the physical building world. I have very little authority, but a cursory understanding of 3D modeling. A 3ds Max, Rhino, Maya with very basic output. Yep. Uh, Earth is round. Defined. Oh shit, defined round. Oh no, we're gonna do a little argument here. Captain Blue says, sounding like a round head to me. Captain Blue also says, I think you will have to find a happy medium between red and blue. Perhaps, perhaps with some good place slicing of the mesh, you might be able to unload parts of the planet. Yeah, when not seen, and uh, kept and keep mesh density. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's actually a really good point. He also says, well, if having the face is a subtle change, then that is a good sign. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, Michael, I was actually thinking, and thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue and Totoro, that obviously I'm curious, can we like delete some parts of the planet that we don't see? So for example, like since since this isn't the path, well, actually, hold on, let me think about it before I ask the question. Um, the question that I wanted to ask was, because we don't see a lot of the planet when we're flying, ugh, but that's not true because it depends on where we're flying, and if we're not careful, if we're going upside down, flying up and upside down, we might see like cut off parts of the environment. But anyways, the question obviously was, to can we delete some parts of the planet to save verts? Because obviously, some areas when we're not flying through it, we don't need it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if we need it or not. So for now, I'm just gonna say let's just keep it as is, and then if we definitely know some areas that we don't need, then we'll delete it.
Yeah, that's a question that I can't answer without either having a more
Hmm. Hmm.
finalized understanding of like, okay, this is scene 3, this is the path that we're going to take around the spherical asteroid.
Right,
Here's the finalized path. Here are the sections of the asteroid that the path does not go through or that
right.
the player never has a visual sight on. So yeah, we can just get rid of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know yet. I mean, maybe I don't know if it would be helpful at all, but if you wanted to do like a super low poly version, export it for us to like start playing with in Unity to try to finalize the path before you spend too much time actually like
Hmm.
um, refining the final model, we could do that. That
Oh
way we
well,
could then.
that's the thing. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to change anything until you get the low poly, and then you are able to play around with it, to actually play test throughout it. Speaking of
Sure.
which, the path, right? This
Hmm.
is the path that I've created, obviously, and I don't know if I could export this path into Unity, but what I do know is that I can make this path into an object
Oh, perfect.
so that now it's a legit object that we are.
There you go.
So see, it's sorry. Urgh. It's a tube now. I made
Yeah.
a extruded it as a tube. Man, come on.
Yeah, that's perfect because then we get
Yeah.
that into Unity and I'll
Mhm.
just lay down a Cinemachine rail
Mhm.
on top of
Mhm.
it and then we can go from there. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to convert this into a mesh, and then we can and then I could give that to you, and then you could use this path or don't use it. It's
No,
up
no,
to you,
yeah.
man.
Well,
It's totally up
I
to
would
you.
definitely like to start there for sure because
Yeah.
you've already got, I mean, you've already done the work and you have a couple of moments in here that are a lot of fun. So I would definitely want to keep that.
Cool, 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 cool. And kind of fun thing when I was doing this, I realized when made that
It
path,
flies into
it
a tube.
yeah, it's like it's we're flying in a tube now. It's like yeah, it's we're going like super quick. Yeah, because hold on, let me see. So this is what it's actually look like without a tube, and this is what it
Hmm.
looks like when we're actually inside of the tube. So kind of fun, kind of fun. I was like, oh,
Just
this is
extra the inside of that tube and we got a hyperspace effect.
exactly, exactly. Oh, and anyways, okay. So that's that. All right. Oh, and Captain Blue Blue says, you can delete it when polishing. In that case, then you will know what is seen and what is not. Absolutely. Yep. Bleh. But as I said, if you wanted to go the extra mile on the programming side, you could unload some meshes when not in the sight of the player. Okay, got it. And that's something that programming. The keyword is program, so therefore that's on you, Michael. Hello. Captain Blue says, but that's more complicated. Yeah, I will do whatever on my part. If there are areas where we don't see it, then I will delete it, cut it out, because obviously it's not necessary. But Michael, if you can do exactly what Captain Blue was talking about programming wise, um, I have no control or power there. I leave the burden. I place the burden onto you, Michael. I am so sorry.
No problem. I
Yes,
can
yes.
take that and run with it. I know how to
Yeah.
do that, but I would have to look into a little bit to see because I know Unity does some of that by itself. So I would
Hmm.
just need to
Hmm.
make sure that any of that I was doing, I wasn't stepping on Unity's toes because I'm sure the people at Unity are much smarter about loading and unloading things than me. But yeah, that's a really good idea. If I know for sure, like, oh, we're not going to be on that side of the planet for the next
Yeah.
2 minutes, like, let
Hmm.
me
Hmm.
just get rid of those objects and then we'll load them in when we cross a certain threshold. And I know, like, okay, here we go. We're getting ready to head into that part. Now I'll load that
Right.
stuff in. So yeah, that's a really good
Right.
point.
Yeah. And both you and Captain Boo Boo, correct me if I'm wrong. There's this thing called, and I know this word because I downloaded digital assets before, and um, and I noticed that when I download the assets, there's different versions. They're called LOD. Um, it's like LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Um, and as you increase or decrease in the numbers, the more polished it gets or the lower polish it gets. So for example, if the character is standing here and if the object is here, the this object is using
Mm.
LOD 5 because you're farther away from this object. You don't need to see the all the details. So the objects the LOD5 is actually using a very, very, very low poly versus using a LOD0, which is like a player standing right next to this object. It has like the highest texture and highest poly count density. It's all based upon how close and how far a character is. And yeah, Captain Blue says LOD. Yes. Okay. So I'm not crazy. It is called LOD. Um,
Yeah, I could be speaking out of turn, but I think it stands for level of detail. And it's like the
okay.
higher the level of detail, you want that when you're close, and then as things are further away, you can cheat getting a lower level of
Right.
detail.
Right. Yeah. I think that's 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 something we may or may not do. But if I
Unity
actually,
does some of that automatically. There's
oh
probably a
really?
way for me
Cool.
to like adjust it, but I know when I was doing the original uh, Argon Assault tutorial,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I didn't program anything in there, and it was just doing that for stuff that was in the distance.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay, sweet. That is great. That is great. Yeah, I'm always trying to think about optimization,
Yeah,
just to
no,
keep
that's
things
great,
light.
man.
That's awesome. All right. So I talked about the planet. I talked about the path. The next thing I want to talk about, show current assets. Okay, so therefore, the next thing I want to talk about is take a look at all these different assets. Am I doing it right? Okay. For example, I have this thing right here. I also have this thing right here. I also have this thing right here, and it's just architectural elements that is on the planet. Oh right. Um, so one of the key issues that I've you guys can tell that because these vertical structures are actually placed tangent on top of the surface. I apologize. Let me do this. On the surface of the sphere, it's actually pointed is oriented correctly, but because the sphere is so drastic that we can tell it's pointing at, it's not parallel to each other. It's actually pointing away from each other, right? And then so that got me thinking like, oh, Michael, and I had to, ask Michael to step into Discord to talk to me really quick, give me his input. Should we start doing it in the? Should we design scene 3 as a vertical plane, or not vertical plane, horizontal plane, or should we keep it as a circle? And obviously, we already told you guys that we decided to keep it as a circle. And I was like, maybe I can, artificially position it so that, they all kind of have the same um, verticality, if you will, that they are parallel to one another. But the thing is, when you do that, then stuff like this happens. So it starts to get kind of wonky and weird on me. So I was like I was freaking out a little bit. I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Right? And then so we came up with a good idea that just keep the circular planet, but not all the surface of the planet has to be curved. A lot of the surfaces can actually be super, super flat. And obviously, I didn't create the surface right now to be flat, but think of a excavation leveler. I don't know what those machines are called. Um, I don't know what they're called.
Excavator,
Excavator. Yeah, thank you. Um, yes, thank you.
bulldozer.
uh, yeah, bulldozer. Yeah, basically, I just take this and I just make this area, all this area right here, super super flat, um, relative to kind of like a Titan or something like that. When we're on the surface, everything it will seem relatively flat, but when we're farther away, it's like, oh, it's flat. And yes, Captain Blue says asteroids are in all different shapes. And so that is my excuse to say I'm just going to create like a freaking flat surface so we can put stuff on there as a flat plane, right? And then I went ahead and showed Michael what I'm going to show you guys really quick. I went on Google and I started to look at various references. And if I do this, boom, yeah,
What
there you
happened?
go. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to drag this. Yeah, sorry, sorry, sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
do you want me to switch to the stream?
No,
I
no,
can
no, no,
just.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no. There
Oh
you go.
yeah, these things.
Yeah, so I went on Google and I just basically typed in futuristic props, futuristic architecture, things to look at for inspiration, right? And I'm like, oh, look at these cool pipes. I'm totally going to design my own pipes. And I'm going to design my own little tanks right here. I'm going to design. Oh, what is this? Oh, what is this? Oh, this is kind of cool. Hey, Michael, maybe we design something that, kind of a platform that's actually flat. So maybe I don't have to do an excavation on the surface of the planet. Maybe this industry, the refinery industry, actually, they actually created like a platform for their construction site or something, right? So that was a good inspiration. And then I just basically looked at all the different types of amazing geometry models that is online, and I marvel at this stuff because what looking at these like, oh yeah, it's like those little shapes and whatnot. But when I'm trying to create it, it's hard, man. It's not easy, and these look so cool. It's like oh, these are kind of adorable. In my opinion, I think they look really cute as like little tiny modular futuristic props and pieces. Um, so yeah, these are awesome. So I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to create like a whole bunch of little modular pieces so that I could give to Michael, and then Michael in the environment he could piece it all together, right? So these are all like very inspirational images that I saw, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna create a platform just like that. I'm gonna create like a trust system just like that, and let's see what I can do now that I am more or less inspired. So I went ahead and did that. I'm going to turn that off right there. All right, now we're back here. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is hold on, where am I? I'm disoriented right now. Yeah, there you go. All right, so right here, let me go back into the grayscale. So
Ooh,
currently,
cool.
all these um, are all the assets that is currently on this planet right now. If you just run through it, um, basically all these right here is what is on the planet, if that makes sense. So the challenge for me is to create more assets that make sense, that are modular, so that I could give it to Michael to piece together and basically create Lego blocks, kind of like what I did with Scene 4. Um, and so this is what we have right now. And then
Ooh.
these are what I created so far for Scene 4. I haven't uh, Scene 4? Scene 3, I'm sorry. Scene 3. I just started. There's still a lot to do, but essentially I created kind of like this trust system. Well, let me just boop. I'm just gonna look at each individual piece by piece. So for example, I created this kind of futurist. It's not really futurist. I try to do like something futuristic with it, but it kind of worked. It kind of didn't work. But let me show you this right here. So for example, they are. Hold on, this is the wrong one. Ugh, this one right here. Wait, that's not right either. Is it this one? Yeah, cool. So currently, basically, this is like a piece in itself, right?
Mhm.
And then whenever Michael wants another piece, he can just take this and make twice, make it two times. Or shoot, one again.
Cool.
Anyways, basically I created one version, and then he could just double it if he wants to and make it as high as tall as he wants to. So this is kind of like that little truss system. I'm not super happy with it, but I'm just trying to figure stuff out right now. It's still kind of in the very rough phase. um, I have also created kind of like a piping system, that here is the pipes. All right, and then I went ahead and connected those pipes with my own joints that I developed. Um,
Cool.
yeah, there's a little issue with it. Currently, you have to have this. Let me go ahead and do this right here. Currently, you have to have it oriented correctly in order for them to fit to one another. Because I designed this in tries, they're not going to work. Reason why they're not going to work is because if you get another piece and if it's not oriented the same way, it's going to kind of do something like that, which that doesn't really work. Um, but anyways, instead of tries, I think I might have to do quads. Instead of three pieces as a triangle, it doesn't really work. I have to do it like in four. Um, it'll make a little bit more sense later. So for example, um, but anyways, that's something that I'm gonna have to work on. It's still brewing right now. But the most important parts is these pieces right here, is so that you have these pieces, and then you can start very much like a scene 4. You can just start connecting these together uh, as pipes, and then you could form any type of shapes that you want. Uh, And I made it as a 45-degree angle. I got it. There you go. Boom.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah. So again, this is the same principle. It's just pipes instead of tunnels. The corridors,
Sure.
right? Yeah. So there's that. And and obviously if you take a look at this, these are just little versions of these guys, and then I went ahead and put three of them together, made an array of them. Like instead of one, I made three. One, two,
Oh,
three.
cool.
Yeah, and then I basically just went ahead and put it inside this little thing so that
Neat.
you make your own little tiny architectural uh, uh, prop,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Here's a little thing right here, and then just boop, put this in here.
Cool.
You could have this piece, and you could take this and then make another one. Maybe rotate it. You know, maybe that's like a little piece right there. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to come up with little modular pieces, right? So that if and when you start to construct the the scene, um, you can either take it with it or without it. Um, I,
Mhm.
I will do I will do my best to create as many props for you, Michael, but I also want to give you the flexibility of creating your own stuff, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's awesome.
yeah. So this is just like a cylinder pill right here,
Mhm.
and then I just put it inside this little container area right here. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work on these props right here. I need to figure out a way to make it a little bit more modular, friendly, kind of like these guys.
Mhm.
So that when you take this, you can say, oh, I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna combine it together, and make this kind of like a piece. Boom, done. And I'm gonna save this as a prefab. Uh, Pretend you're in Unity. You're dragging this and then dragging into the Unity uh, little column right here, right? And
Yeah,
then it's
that's
going to save it
perfect.
as a prefab. Um, so for example, if I take this right now and do something like that, and then it's like, oh, it looks like a little refinery, uh, little space prop right here.
Yeah.
And then we're actually flying through it. Wow. it still needs more work. It still needs more work. It's not as cool as I want it to
No,
be.
the you're on the right track. You're absolutely going in the right direction. What you have so far is like it's promising. I can see the direction, and it's yeah, this is gonna make Scene 3 um a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Good, good. I hope so. I hope so. Yay.
And
Ugh.
making things modular is great not only for all the reasons that you've described, but also just in the fact that you're basically like right now with us making this game, you're building this like library of 3D props that we can use in additional games. So like if when we're done with the rail shooter as is, and we want to maybe do a different version of it, uh,
Mhm, mhm,
whatever that might be, we could just reuse all these assets. Be like, okay, well, let's get all the refinery assets and build out a whole new level with all this stuff that you don't have to then go and remodel.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
which is going to be super cool. So the more modular this stuff is, like what you did with the truss, like that's really cool. Being able to just extend that thing. I mean, heck, yeah, if you have like a like an angle bracket component as well, well, then we could basically make like a crane out of that thing or something. Like
mm.
add a couple of extra components to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Now you've got like you can put just a flat plane on the top of that, and you've got yourself a little like helipad or even yeah, even like an elevator that can like go up and down. Like man, there you go, bam, little shuttle launch pad.
Yeah, something. 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 Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's why I think I was like, yeah, modular is definitely the way to go. So go ahead and but yeah,
and
I don't want to give you all the work of creating these assets modularly, Michael. In that I want to be able to create something that's kind of I want to give you a prefab model, something that you could just
yeah,
pop in. But at the same time, I want you to be able to take this and make your own kind of
sure,
prop if you decide to do so because whenever you're in the game you'll be like, it'll be more interesting if there's a story wise, if there's a refinery over there that's maybe shaped like this because we're actually flying through this area. Let's put a wall here. Let's put a wall there. To give
totally.
you a little bit more creative control in designing the game. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about are the little platforms, and
Ooh,
I created these platforms, um, and they they are also modular, but these are kind of what I did with some of the pieces that I've created, and those pieces are boom right here. From these pieces, I was able to create like a whole bunch of different shapes.
cool.
Just by actually, that's not really true. If I wanted to delete these right here, I could because in actuality, the whole thing, everything that you're looking at right now, is actually made by these two geometry. But
Mm,
I kind of grouped them up a little bit more, is so that you don't have to put one and then another one and then another one and
sure.
then another one. No, it's a lot easier to do it this way. But if I went ahead and look at how it was constructed, um, yeah, you could tell that it is just essentially squares and triangles. Um,
Hmm.
and again, this is a prefab that I created. You may not like this at all, Michael. So therefore, what you can do is I give you this, you take this, and then you could just start creating your own modular pieces based on these elements right here. Something like that. Rotate it 180. You know, it's like boom, yay! This is exactly the platform that I want to have, right? And again, I will create some prefabs for you, Michael. But if you decide
Sure.
that you want something else, then you have the ability of me giving you these 5 pieces. You can be able to create your own. Um, and I'm pretty sure I could come up with another. modular piece instead of just these five. But it's pretty incredible with these five, or realistically just these two. You could create like a whole bunch of different kind of uh, platforms that these things can live on.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's absolutely the right approach is cr creating the prefabs that are like ready to go, but then
Hmm.
also having on top of that the modular
Hmm.
functionality so that way customizations can be made either to like taking an existing prefab and adding a little bit to it or building something from scratch if you know if the case is as the case needs be.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, for me, it's I'm grateful and really counting on you to provide a lot of the prefabs because you're going to do a way better job at creating really good-looking model elements than I could do, even with all of the modular pieces. So, but it's good to have both, especially
Yeah,
because of the
yeah.
versatility of us being able to make new, you know, an infinite variety of new things with some like basic components.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, I will definitely do my best to create all the prefabs that I think looks appropriate for the level. Um, and this definitely will be a back and forth. It's like, oh, does this work? Plug it into Unity. It doesn't really work. Oh, this is, it'll take some time
Sure.
to figure it out. And yeah, right now what I have so far, I'm not in love with. But the idea is there. The idea is there. The pipes itself,
Totally.
it's pretty straightforward. Unless you could think of another type of shape for pipes. I think I covered it all. I mean, there's straight, there's bends, there's 90-degree T shapes. Uh, if we need something else, we'll come up with it. But this is what I have so far. Um, and this is what it is right here. Although again, I'm not totally in love with any of these right now. These are just props that is placed in here just to give a little bit more interest when we are actually flying through the space.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
And hold on, let me look at my notes. Let me look at my notes. Uh, show reference, show work in process. Yep, I think I'm done. I'm done for all the Sc.3 assets that I've created. So my homework for myself that I'm thinking of doing is basically just um keep working on developing modular assets as well as I think the next step for me is to, first of all, export the asteroid planet, the low poly asteroid planet, to into Unity, so that you can
Hmm.
actually play with it, as well as this this path right here, not
Sure.
as a path, but actually as an object. And then so give that those two elements to you, so that you actually
Um,
have something to play with. Yo, go ahead. Yep.
yes, please do that. And in addition to those two elements, the asteroid and the rail, can you also include the ship scaled relative to the asteroid? That way, when I
Yes.
import it, I can make sure that my scale matches the one that you've been using.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. You're talking about this guy, um,
Yeah, wherever that little ship
this
is.
guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That way
yeah.
I can do a quick adjustment to make sure
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
the scale of my ship is the scale of my ship in Unity to my asteroid in Unity is the same as your ship in
Yeah,
Blender to your asteroid in Blender.
sure, sure. I'm actually curious, like I know the scale is gonna export the same, but due to the different camera settings on Blender and your camera settings in Unity, how different or similar will it look once they're placed together? But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I
We'll
don't
see.
yeah. I don't really know how that works because I know when I imported the tunnel pieces for scene 4, they were all quite small.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
even at 3 times the size, they were pretty tight.
pretty
But when
tight.
you're
Yeah.
flying through them with the ship, like it looks fine. Though the ship is bigger by default in Unity, like in order to get it to look right with the like camera spacing relative to the drones and stuff. In
Uh-huh.
Unity, I think the ship scale is 1.75 currently
Oh, so it is
from the
adjusted.
model that you created. Yeah, so the ship that we're using in Unity actually is
Oh.
scaled up a little bit.
So is it possible for you to just scale up the all the assets I gave to you like 1.75?
Uh, yes, I can. I think that might not be big enough.
Oh, got it,
Um,
got it, got it.
But I mean, yeah, it's scaling things in Unity is a piece of cake. Like that's not
Okay,
a problem at
cool.
all. It's just a
Sweet,
matter
sweet,
of
sweet.
finding like what is it? Like should this be 3 times as big, 5 times as big,
Yeah,
1.75 times? Like, oh, there it is. That's a sweet spot. And then it's as
sweet.
easy as just like, you
Mhm.
know, Control A to get all of them and then change the scale from it. Like that's really easy. It's
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
finding it is the sort of like trial and error part.
Sure, 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 sure. Okay, cool. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I will definitely include this little ship in there so that you can uh scale things accordingly. Anything else?
Cool.
Anything else? Anything else? So yeah, I will give all that to you. Also, I would like to texture a little bit of homework for myself is I want to texture this planet um so that we're not
Mm,
looking at a grayscale planet. I want to do something
sure.
like what I did in scene 4.
Hmm.
Um, it again, I in my mind, the skeleton assets is the planet itself and 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 that's about it uh in my mind because all the props they're just storytelling elements
Hmm.
they're just aesthetically pleasing to look at to whiz by uh unless we're actually shooting at something trying to blow something up um but the most important thing is and correct me if I'm wrong obviously the surface of the asteroid, as well as the bad guys. Those are probably the skeletal things that we need to have in this environment. Do you agree, or do you think that's not right?
I mostly agree. Like 90% agree. The only little 10% of there that may be an unknown is we may get to a point in experimenting with the sort of rhythm of the level and
Hmm.
feel
Hmm.
like I had kind of mentioned that like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was the little landing pad area and maybe the
Yeah,
friendly
yeah,
ships are trying to like escape and you need to protect them.
right,
That might be something where we might have to come back and say like, okay, that's actually a really cool moment. Let's make sure we
right,
get it into the game. I might need a
right.
little bit more help from you to like, okay, we're going to create a flat area here and make sure
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
this is the location where the shuttle launch uh, field is going to be or whatever it is. Um, so there may be a little bit of that, but generally, yeah, I think you're totally right. The most important thing is the overall skeleton of the asteroid that we're going to be, and then we fly through the different canyons and crevices over the
Right.
surface get a feel for it. And then all the other stuff is kind of like, we can add that as we go.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. That's awesome. All right. So homework, give this to you, uh give this to you, give the ship to you, and I'm going to keep working on the modular pieces, make sure that we have cool stuff here, create the prefabs. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Okay, and then put everything inside Unity so that it's packaged up correctly. Okay, cool. That's it. That's it. That's all I have to talk about today. Thank you, Michael, and also Blue Blue and Totoro. Thank you guys for being here. And oh, I missed some stuff. I missed some stuff. Captain Blue Blue says also, I guess that they could have made a larger flat foundation for their buildings. Yeah, exactly. The foundations will have to be deeper. I feel spontaneously on on a curved surface, these might stick out and float in the air. But that's trial and error thing to add later. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue. It's so good to have both you and Totoro here to give me some clarity and good excuses as to why the planet is not the whole entire asteroid has to be round. Some surfaces could be flat too. Yeah, that's a good reason. Totoro says looks great. Oh, looks great. I love that planet. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, this is a really jankety planet that I carved up with my sculpting tool. Yeah.
It's
Mario
looking great, man.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, Super Mario
Yeah.
Galaxy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Thanks, man. I think the first step I will do is I'm gonna try to texture all this planet to make it look cool.
Sure.
Um, yeah, and then once I do that, I'll go ahead and export it and give it to you in Unity. My goal is to give it to you by Wednesday. Hopefully I could do that for you.
Awesome.
That
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
yeah, that shouldn't take too long. I mean, unless I run into something that's really interesting or complicated, then I'll take a little bit more time. But I don't foresee myself taking longer than Wednesday to do that. Uh, but yeah, cool, sweet.
Good work, man.
Okay, I'm
This has been
done.
great.
I am so tired. Talking about this is like so tiring. Ah.
You did a fantastic job though, like you like walking us through everything and explaining here's how this thing works and here's the process to go from A to B. Answering all the questions. Like, I mean, I'm not doing any of the 3D modeling, but I feel like I'm learning so much and getting such a stronger appreciation for all the stuff that you're doing. So this is very educational and helpful for me. So this is cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, same thing with you, man. Whenever you're doing like Unity programming, I'm just like, holy shit, thank you so much for doing all that because I can't for the life of me do it. So you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back, man. I
Yep,
totally
it's the
appreciate it.
same thing over here. Every time
Yeah.
you do a stream, I'm like, man, thank God Chris is doing this because I can't, I couldn't do any of this.
Yeah, totally. When our powers combine, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some Q&A for now. And
Oh
oh, let me
yeah.
let me go ahead and turn off my thing. Okay, and I'm going to
Um,
turn off
I'm not
my
sure
stuff.
if this was for the current stream or post show, but you wanted me to remind you about textures in Unity, or did we already talk about that?
Oh, yes. No, we did not talk about it. Ah, crap. Shoot. Hold on. Sorry,
Got
guys.
to get
I
back
want to.
into Blender.
Yeah, I gotta get back into Blender thingamajiggy. Uh, actually, no, I don't. Because I don't have anything prepped in Blender to show this question. So I've seen it done in Unity, and Captain Blue Blue, if you're there, please answer this question too. Also, you too, Michael. In Unity, I've seen people stretch the geometry. However, the the tile, what is it? The seamless texture, it doesn't stretch with the geometry.
Hmm.
The geometry, it gets larger, but the texture remains the same. It's just seeing more of the texture. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like you have a square, you go into edit mode, you take one vertex of the square, and then you stretch it to a larger square, right? Normally in Blender, if you do that, you will actually see the texture itself stretch, like as the geometry gets stretched. But in Unity, I've seen it done where the geometry stretches, but the texture itself, because it's a seamless texture, it shows more of the texture of the same scale texture when it's being scaled up. Do you know how to do that, Michael?
I know enough to be dangerous to like start asking the right questions, I think, and eventually figure it out. My guess is that that probably has something to do with a setting in Unity where the bump map or the UV map is maybe set to like a tiled mode or something.
Okay.
So then as you are adjusting the size of because one of the things that has come up in some of my tutorials is creating a plane and then applying a texture to it. and then you can change the size of the texture or the like location of the texture, so you can kind of
Uh-huh.
like move it around, kind of like what you were doing with the UV map that you were showing us. Um, and then I think I remember playing with some things in Pro Builder, which is Unity's like built-in 3D object building tool,
Yeah.
that I was able to move and stretch things, and it just did exactly what you were talking about, where it was just like adding more of the texture there,
Yeah.
and not stretching it. So I think there's a way to do it. I'm guessing it's some kind of setting where you just flag like, how do you want this texture applied? Because in the settings you can change like, do you want it tiled? Do you want it to be this size, or ginormous size? There might be a setting in there where you can tell it that to like, here's
Mm.
how to
Mm.
respond when I'm moving this thing. Do you
Mhm.
want me to
Mhm. Mhm.
stretch the texture with it? So that way, the where the texture is placed right now is always matching the verts that it's attached to, or can the verts move around and then the texture just stays in place, kind of like with the UV map thing.
Okay.
I, yeah. In summary, I don't know, but I have like a couple of hunches that I could chase down,
Got it.
and try to
And
figure it out.
and this is not something not like very pertinent, not super important. I'm just thinking like maybe if we do something like this, why did I start thinking of it? Uh, I think, oh, right, because when I was trying to design for the platform, I was like, oh, maybe the platform could get bigger. Well, shit, if I just stretched it and made it bigger, then the whole texture itself gets
Mm.
bigger. The little tiny like let's say I make a little tiny grid, like a floor grid. I want it to stay the same size,
Mhm.
right? But if I want the geometry to get bigger, I don't want the texture to get bigger. I want the texture still to be, 1 inch by 1 inch, Um, but if I stretch it, it's going to be 2 by 2, right? So
Right.
the texture just doesn't work anymore. I'm just like, oh god, maybe I should ask Michael. I seen it done before in Unity. I don't know. Um, Captain Blue Blue says, do you mean it tiles? It sounds like a procedural texture. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Uh, yeah, we'll find that out later. This is just something for me. It's like an itch in the back of my head that I wanted to ask because, if I had the ability to do that, it's just another set of skills under my belt. Knowing that in the future, if I just wanted to make a texture bigger, I don't have to worry about the texture getting bigger. It could just keep getting scaled, right? But
Right.
all Blue Blue says, but all materials can be tiled with scale, I think. Okay. I don't know how to do that in Blender. That's the thing. I've only seen it done in Unity, which is it kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, that's cool. Unfortunately, I don't remember where I saw that. Maybe it was a tutorial, maybe it was a video that I saw. I don't remember. But Captain Blue says, when should I send the thing I wanted to bring up? Yeah, send it now, man. Send it now. Feel free to either send it to me or post it in the Creative Tavern. In
Yeah.
general, just let me know. Let me know where you put it in, Captain Blue Blue. And thank you so much for sharing what you're going to share with us. Really appreciate it, dude. While you're doing that, I will answer Totoro's question. He asked, "Hey Chris, how did the pin shipment go? And what is the Kickstarter scheduled for the next Tarot project?" Okay, first question is it's all done. Yeah, it's all done. There were about 60 plus packages that I packaged up in one day. I basically had like the shipments of the pins. I had to take like 60 pins each from 3 different sets, pull the pins apart, put it on the backings, put it in the little tiny polypropylene baggies, and then seal it, and then write a thank you note, and then put it into the brown paper bag. Or actually, so this person right here, they haven't paid for shipping yet, but this is once they pay for shipping, I'm gonna put the thing right here and then mail this out. But basically, let me go ahead and so in this bag, I've included this little, it's backwards, I apologize. This little thank you note with the little coupon, like, oh, thank you so much for supporting, and here's your little coupon code if you decide to, get anything else from the store. There's that, and also there's this little the pins that this person ordered. This person ordered the Pluto Sailor Moon pin, and also I went ahead and included the stickers as well as other stickers as well with the pin. See, they're both the same. This is the pin and this is the sticker. Yeah. And then so essentially there's like 60 orders. Some of them, ordered one, some of them ordered six. So I have to like cram six pins in this little tiny folder. And if I can't fit it inside there, I have a much larger uh much larger folder that or not folder, envelope that I send it in. So basically, there's two things. So yeah, so for example, I had to take one of this, I got to take this, put it in here, and I got to take, the pin, and then I just stick it in here, and then take this, put it in here, put a little bit of my body odor, rub it on me, and then stick it, and then just I'm kidding about the body odor thing, of course. And then just put the thing and then mail it out. So yeah, I basically did 60 of the packaging and I did it within 1 day. And then it's all out. Everyone's pretty happy. Uh, the estimated schedule was 100% on time, so I'm very happy. So in a few days, everyone's gonna get their pins. And the second part of your question, I went ahead and submitted my tarot card Kickstarter to the people for them to approve it. So right now it's under review, and once it's approved, I will launch the that Kickstarter on July 7th. So it's in 4 days it's going to launch. So rah! I'm very
Rock
happy.
and roll, man.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
wait.
very. I know. So until then, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to do a little bit of ads on Instagram to just let people know, like promote my posts, because
Totally.
to be super honest with you, like if I post something on Instagram, maybe five people will see it. Like my stuff gets buried like underneath a whole bunch of people's posts, right? It's like if you post something at 1 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, it's like it's already
It's
there's
gone.
other it's gone, so it's you won't see it unless you pay for it, unless you promote the hell out of it. Yeah, unless you pay money to let it be seen by other people. That's what you have to do to get exposed to exposure for your post, right? And then so I have to find various accounts that does promotions. So I've been looking at tarot card reading Instagram sites. I've been looking at different Facebook book groups. I what I have to do also is look at Reddit post area, and maybe Michael, you could help me find some good Reddit groups, because I know there's a pin one. I'm in a pin subreddit group, but I don't know anything else other than that. I mean, I could obviously go search for it, but if you know of any, like, I'm pretty sure you don't know of any because you're not on any tarot card site. Um, if I can't find any, then I'll bother you. Let me do my own research first before I ask you to do anything. Um, yeah, so now until then, it's basically marketing time. Just marketing, get my stuff out there because I am the worst at marketing. I hate posting stuff. I don't know if I become like an old man now. I'm just like sick and tired of posting stuff. I'm just like, oh god, this is so tiring. I have all the posts ready to be shown. It's just uploading it, typing it, putting hashtags. Did I put enough hashtags? Did I put the right hashtags? And then press send, And then again, unfortunately, all my posts gets like buried. So even though I posted like one a day, I only get like a few likes. It's very little exposure. So yeah, I once I become a millionaire, I'm gonna hire someone to do all this crap for me, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, anyways. um, Captain Blue Blue, it's about creating damage and weathering. Your original plan, I think, was to create a whole duplicate texture of walls, but with one section damage. With this, you can one make the damage texture much smaller size. Ooh, cool. Also, let the level designer help placing these. uh, that they wish. It is more modular way to do it. Ooh, that is cool. Think of a stamp you put on the surface. Cool. And did you happen to put it in Discord? Let me take a look. Yes, there's something. There's something here. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Docs. It's opening. It's opening. Ah, actually, Michael, you could probably hold on. I'm going to share with you guys. What I have to do is do this. Hold on, and I'm going to share screens. Screen number 4. Okay. Oh, sorry. So take this right here. Give me 1 second, guys. I am going to go Firefox. Boom. Decal rendering. And I can't. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And obviously, Michael, you don't see anything right now, right?
Yeah, I don't. Ooh, now I do.
Okay, great. Oh, this is a decal thingy-majiggy. That's cool.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Decal renderer
interesting.
feature. Project specific materials.
Oh,
Cool.
oh, sorry. Were you reading?
No, that's okay. Yeah, it says with the decal render feature, Unity can project specific materials, decals, onto other objects in the scene. The decals interact with the scene's lighting and wrap around meshes.
that
Cool.
is cool.
It's like the
Oh,
sprays in Overwatch.
oh yeah. Totally. Add the decal. Thank
Decal
you, Captain Blue Blue.
feature.
This is
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks, man. Yeah, that would be really easy to just be like, okay, we want a big blast mark right there. Stick it on the
Hmm,
thing. Cool.
that's very cool, dude. Michael, do you mind reading this later on and
Sure.
then educate me what I need to do to on my end to get it to you?
Yes, I'm happy to take a look at it. No promises that I'll come back and be able to say like, all right, here's exactly what you do. But
Sure,
I
sure,
might have
sure,
a,
sure, sure.
you know, I can get us started.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. He says documentation's always a great source. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Totally.
This is yeah. This is exactly like the sprays in Overwatch.
Yeah, which would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Decal projector. Oh, that is cool. Thank you, Captain Boo Boo.
Yeah, thanks, man.
This is great. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. So yeah, we could start. We could like put the scratch mark, burnt marks, damaged marks. Uh, that's great. Yeah. Thank you. This is great. This is awesome. Sweet. Um, do you have any questions, Michael, for Captain Blue Blue about this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's great that we've got the link. I'll, do some reading up on it and hopefully get back to you soon about how we can implement it. Um, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely utilize this, dude. Thank you so much. Sweet. All right. Yeah. Thank you. See, this is exactly why we stream. We get help. Yeah, this is awesome. Sweet. All right. And oh, by the way, I can share with you guys really quick the steampunk sailor. I actually took photos. So this is the thing, and then I sent them the updates, and this is a update that I sent to them. Oh wait, shoot, not this one. Go back. It's the one below. All pins have arrived and packaged.
Sweet. Oh,
So yeah,
cool.
yeah, these are all the pins that I had to like unpin the backs of it, and then I had to pins it onto the cards,
Oh
and then
man.
yeah, and they're like 60 plus, um, and then I gotta do all of them, package all of them, and then drop these all at the USPS. So yeah, that's what I did. It was cool. It was cool.
Logistics and order processing.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I had to learn as well. Oh shoot, we missed Totoro. The pins look great. I like the scale a lot bigger than expected. No, thank you so much, Totoro. He also said, super exciting, great work, Chris. Thank you. That is called shipping. You are a pro, and pros ship their work. They ship often. They ship on time. Yeah. Cause the way I try to do my Kickstarter is as if I was the one that's supporting my own Kickstarter. Is like I don't want to wait for 3 months to get my rewards. I want to get it now. So it's like, what can I do to make myself happy? I want to be the creator that I expect others to be. So I want to do that thing, and so far everyone likes the stuff that I'm doing. So and yeah, thank you, Toto. I really appreciate it. Um, and Captain Blue says no problem, happy to help. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank again. Uh, One of the reasons why, a more selfish reason why I want to, we're streaming is to get other people to help us too. So yeah, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, Captain. Oh, Blue Blue. Let me go back to this. Sweet. Um, Anything else, Michael? Am I missing anything else?
Oh, were there other things in the community art gallery we wanted to look
Oh,
at?
yes, yes, I totally forgot. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. La 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 la. All right, let me share my screen real quick again. I am all over the place. I am all over the place. Okay, so for this week we had some amazing art, and I'll share it with you, Michael. There you go. Boom. This is June. June. I was actually on her stream when she did this painting. Man, I tell you, she's like amazing. She does these like paintings in like 2 3 days, and
Wow.
she's super fast. And again, like the way she does it, um, I'm sorry, not the way she does it, but the consistency that she does it is incredible. Like every single stream is always like a new painting, and it's she gets a lot of mileage, and that's what I'm talking about is mileage, mileage, mileage. Just keep on doing your art, whatever you're doing. If it's Blender, if it's singing, if it's drawing, you just got to keep on doing it every single day, and then you'll get better and better. And I know for a fact that June's never had any professional training at all. I'm gonna speak on your behalf, June, if you're watching this ever. Um, and correct me later on in the future if I get any part wrong. Basically, she was in the hospital, and when she was getting treatment there, and then uh, in the hospital, I believe they only had like paint. There was nothing else to do, I think, and so in order to for her to entertain herself, she basically just picked up a paintbrush and some acrylics or oils and started painting. And she fell in love with it, and then she just kept on doing it every single day. And she's streaming. She does the stream with it too, and it's really really incredible. I think she's very very talented. She does this every single day. Sometimes she doesn't stream every single day, but it's more often than not it's every single day because like at that certain time it says, oh, June is now streaming, and I'm just like, oh, cool, very very cool. And I click on her stream. It's like, oh, it's a totally different painting, right? Yeah, Captain Blue says June is amazing with her art. Yeah, I totally agree. So I strive to be like June. She's super super awesome, amazing, and very 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 nice. She's so nice and very very talented, and these are the type of people that I'm very, very fortunate to meet, so, as well as, Captain Blue Blue here. Without Twitch, without this technology, I would not have met you guys. And so I'm very, very, what's the word? Very grateful to live in a time in this age where I'm able to reach people in New Zealand, reach people in Sweden. It's incredible. I would not have the opportunity to do that at all. So, Michael, your thoughts on this painting?
Uh, yeah, the painting is amazing, especially like I'm always in awe of traditional media. Like, granted, you still I mean, digital media is difficult as well. Like, that's a whole other skill set you have to learn. But as somebody who's very inclined towards the digital side, how easy it is to just control Z and to like, get my
Yeah.
iPad open and do a little doodling and then close it without having to like, change water and clean up my
Oh
brushes
God.
and,
Yeah, I know.
all of this sort of like build up and take down that you have to do with traditional media.
Yeah.
Um, that is impressive alone. Just the dedication to that part of the craft. Um, but man, yeah, the traditional media always looks. It's hard to work with too. It's so unforgiving. Like you make a mistake,
Yeah.
if you're doing like watercolor or something, you got to live with it or start over. So
Yeah.
yeah, and everything you said about the the sort of stick to itness
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
showing up every day and working, um, that really is like and it's especially cool to hear that June didn't have any formal training, because that really just proves in
Mhm.
my mind
Mhm.
that much more like how important it is to learn by doing,
Mhm.
because there's definitely things you can learn from other people, and there's certainly a lot of like shortcuts that they can teach you, but without you actually doing it and putting in, like you said, the mileage, you're not really going to get there. And so yeah, June
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
a shining beacon of
Yeah.
that philosophy,
Yeah.
and so we're so happy to have her as part of the community.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, June. Hopefully you see this part of the video. We're very, very grateful to you, man. And again, thank you so much for posting. And the next one we have Feathery Justice. Yeah. Um, I think this looks freaking gorgeous, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of trouble with line art. I don't know about you, Captain Blue Blue, but line art for me, it's a pain in the ass. And I'm kind of curious as to which I think you're using I think you might be using Clip Art Studio. I'm not sure, Feathery Justice, but um, awesome job. I love what you're doing with the line art. Yeah, like you said, I believe both Michael and Feathery said this has a very 90s feel of the anime style. It's the bigger eyes and just the flow of the lines. It looks very, very nice, very, very cute. Um, Captain Blue says, very cute. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And he also says, I'm terrible at line art. Yeah, same here. Me too. High five. Boop.
It's
That's why I
hard.
do more. Yeah, that's why I do more paintings. Paintings you could get away with, like you could bullshit a little bit more because like, oh, it's mixed in there, But with lines, you're just like, each line has a defined meaning, and if you frack up a line, it's like the whole thing is like basically destroyed. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have nothing but respect for this type of drawing, this type of sketch.
Yeah, because with line art, you have to like have the confidence to do it in like one stroke. Because if
Yeah.
you're trying to like, really get like multiple strokes or multiple redos or trying to like do it slowly and precisely, like not gonna happen. You have
Mm,
to have this like eh, this one shot attack that nails the length of the line, the shape of the line, the the pressure, the variation in pressure from the beginning to
mm-hmm.
the end, the angle of the pin, like on and on and on. It's just like it's crazy how much goes into making a single line that you don't it's like the success, like Totoro said, success equals invisible immersion. It's the same thing with line art. Like
Yeah.
you don't notice it unless you've tried to do it, and then you know
Yep.
how hard it is.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Oh wait, I missed Captain Blue. Blue also says I'm equally enjoying following you two on your game dev journey. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Yeah, I am myself trying to get back in the saddle, and this helps. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that's awesome. We're motivating people. That's great.
Woo!
Yay. But it was also really cool to see Captain Blue Blue work in 3D. And I was when I was on his stream, I was just like, oh, that's so cool. To actually see someone else, doing box modeling and doing the characters. It's very cool. So yeah, I was just kind of watching and seeing what he was doing. It was very cool. I thank you for streaming. You need to stream more, man, so that we could watch you a little bit more. And he also says I plan to be one of those artists who tape bananas on walls. I hear they make a lot of money from it. That's so funny because I've actually seen installation of bananas. Um, there's a photo of or a time lapse photo of like a wall of bananas, right? There's like a day old banana is used as a background, and there's a 1 day old banana that's actually says a word, and then after a few days goes by, the bananas obviously gets darker and darker and darker because they go from green to yellow to just black and grungy, right? And then so when they actually had the installation of all the bananas on the walls, you can see the transformation of the colors going from green to yellow to black, and then so you can see the word basically you know going from changing colors, and then it goes from like the foreground to the background.
Wow.
The color
Really?
changing. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. And I was like, oh wow, that's a waste of bananas, but it's for the sake of art. It's worth it, I guess. But yeah, no, that's pretty funny, Captain Blue Blue. But yes, anyways, thank you so much, Feathery Justice, for sharing and posting this art. Really appreciate it. Yeah. All right, the next one is Top Cat. Top Cat is one of my he's also a VTuber that I follow. He's super funny, and he's one of the first ones. It was him and Horizon Onward that I watched a lot, and I think this image right here is one of the best images that Top Cat has drawn, in my opinion. Uh, for the first thing, I love it when he draws girls. I love seeing girly drawings. But when I first saw this, she reminds me of. Do you remember in The Little Mermaid, Ursula, when Ursula turned into
Oh
human
yeah.
form?
Mm-hmm.
This totally reminds me of Ursula in her human form. Maybe it's the black hair and the expression. I don't know what it is, but
Sure.
I love it. I love it. It's hot. It's sexy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always appreciate uh Top Cat's ambitious use of lighting, like as opposed
Mm.
to just having like a pretty standard lighting scheme. He's
Mhm. Mhm.
always
Mhm.
trying to add some kind of like challenging backlight and some edge lighting,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, which I always appreciate, 'cause
Yeah.
especially somebody who's like I've tried to do some interesting lighting in my own artwork before, and it's not easy. It's pretty
It's
hard.
hard. Yeah. Yeah. I remember exactly, Michael. Yeah, he's not afraid to use lighting as well as color too. Like, remember the last one he did? He had like yellow, red, and purple in that piece.
Yeah.
It's if I
And
if
there were
I
like multiple light sources, and it was like
yeah.
raining, and so there was like water
Oh,
light reflecting as well. Yeah, it's like really ambitious.
yeah, it was God, it was here somewhere. Oh,
Man, look at
right
all
here.
this beautiful artwork in here.
I know. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah, all these like different colors, which is very bold. I can't I'm so hesitant to use so many different colors, but I gotta let this inspire me to do more colors. And we actually passed Captain Blue Blue's cinnamon roll, or
Yeah.
hold on, hold on. It's a Swedish cinnamon roll. Yeah, that's you, Captain Blue Blue. Very cool. Are you gonna make more? Uh, just curious question.
Makes me
Let,
hungry.
I know it looks so good, and it reads really well as a emote, little
Mm-hmm.
emoticon icon. Yeah. So good job on that, man.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is June's, man. June's work is freaking good. Really, really good. Captain Lula says, in 2019, an artist taped a banana with the silver taped to the wall in a. Oh, I remember that too. Yeah, that's right. Um, silver taped to the wall in a fancy art gallery for the millionaire. They sold it for $120,000. That's that's like
Wow.
that's total bullshit. That's crazy, man. That's I don't like those kind of stories. Those stories makes me like not happy because I mean, good for them. They made money like that. But why didn't I do that? It's like, come on, man. I'm working my butt off trying to get lighting correctly. Painting, making pins and whatnot, and yet they just taped the freaking banana to a wall and they made money. Like, come on, man. That's not cool.
Yeah, like for me, on the one hand, I can understand and appreciate that. Like, yeah, sure, taping a banana to a wall, anybody can do that, but not anybody thought to do that. And so, from that perspective, there's a certain amount of like creativity that is involved in the artistic expression process that I can understand.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, it takes a certain skill to do that. But what really irks me is the fact that there's some people out there who have $120,000 to just drop on a banana taped to a wall. It's
Oh,
like there's
right.
so many people out in the world who are starving to death or could like use a little extra cushion in their finances. Yeah, this sort of like the wealth disparity between what people
Yeah.
can throw money away on, uh, and what other people would be an absolute windfall gain of life changing proportions.
Right.
Um, Boy howdy,
Yeah, I know.
that's
And
sometimes
yeah, it sucks. And Papa Boo Boo says, "Boys, go to the grocery store. I have a business plan. We'll use
perfect.
pineapples.
I'll get the duct tape. You get the
Yeah.
bananas.
Yes, and bananas and oranges and apples and whatnot. So, but yeah, we gotta think about other stuff besides video games. Fine art, I guess. Fine art is where it's at. Yeah.
Gotta
Ugh.
find a way to tape a roll of duct tape to a wall with a banana. Just put a
Yeah.
little
But
reversal on it.
exactly. Oh man. Totoro says, let's go with the non-perishable food decor. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Anything else? Michael, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Um, nope, I don't think so. I'll have some stuff to share on Wednesday, and I plan to bring the Wednesday night tavern trivia back.
Ooh, sweet.
So I'll have 5 new questions. I think we liked movies as a theme for next time, so I'm gonna do some movie stuff. I'll try to have a mixture in there too. I'll have like maybe an easy question, some medium questions, and a hard question.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so I'll have an update on Wednesday, and we'll play some more games.
Very cool. Very, very awesome. If you guys don't have any more questions, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here tonight. It's actually 8:57. Wow. Perfect, almost perfect 2-hour session. That is awesome. Yay. Captain Blue says, "Yay, perhaps trivia can be a permanent feature." Oh, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. That I
Yeah, I
I'm
think
down
that.
with that.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate. We are a tavern after all. Like, we
Yeah.
should have some trivia.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. Totoro says, looking forward to the trivia and more
More
snowboard
snowboarding.
games. Yeah, sweet.
See if we can send that snowboarder to the moon next
Move.
time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much again, Captain Lulu and Totoro. And for those of you guys watching at home or your mobile, anywhere you guys are at, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate your view for taking the time to watching us. and you can find me on twitch.tv/ lead design studio. Again, my Kickstarter will be launching July 7th, and fingers crossed everything is or will be approved, and I'll let you guys know when it launches, and so you guys can hopefully support if you guys are interested. But yeah, and anything, where can they find you, Michael?
So I think Chris shared the link in the chat. So if you click there, you can get all my social stuff. Though I'm really not too active there. I'm still very busy trying to get up to speed on Unity and make this video game. Once we hit our beta milestone, I'm hoping to be a little bit more active with my own streaming and social media. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime,
Sweet.
if you want to support me and you're interested in storytelling, I've got a book, Blockbuster Blueprint, which you can check out. I'll have a second edition coming out sometime later this year, early next year. But if you can't wait, you can check that out now. Otherwise, the best place to find me is right here every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we will continue working on this video game and talking about creative stuff uh, with Chris and I. So, and you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, thank you so much again, guys. We will see you on Wednesday, and have a happy and a safe 4th of July, okay? All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much. See ya. And thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue and Totoro. Yeah. And yeah, cool. Sweet. Talk to you guys later.